Uninvited guests. A tangle of marine decorum, restless lights, and an ambrosial scents mingle atop a floating quay to accent the Shangri-La, Aberdeen Harbour's premier dining location. With competitive views of the surrounding bay, the restaurant attracts a steady crowd of tourists and Wuxing personnel. The primary moneyman for the 289's Chang Sing Rooster Low is enjoying a rare meal outside of the Triad-held territory. Let's skip all that and just get into it. We're going to steal this dude, probably murder other people. It's just going to be things. Yes. Let's do it. Ooh. Security guard, let us in, please. Stepping into the interior hallway of the Shangri-La, you're confronted by a massive wall of troll, the restaurant's front door security. He speaks with surprising elocution. Welcome to the Shangri-La. We strive to provide our patrons with an exquisite dining experience. If you have any questions or require special accommodations, don't hesitate to speak with our staff. Looks like I've got my pick of tables. I'm sorry, but this is not a seat-yourself establishment. If you'd like to choose where you sit, I suggest you make a reservation for one of the private rooms upstairs. He looks you up and down, frowns. Please keep in mind that any disturbances will be promptly de-escalated by our security. We reserve the right to bar service to unruly patrons. Thank you, and enjoy your meal. What security? I don't see any guards. With a puff of his chest and a shake of his shoulders, the troll assumes a more aggressive posture. His face remains a mask of neutrality, despite the obvious irritation in his voice. Wuxing prides itself on having world-class security personnel. You do well to remember that. The best kind of security is often hidden from sight. Pretty hard not to see that guy. Yeah. Let's go talk to the waitress before we go in. Apparently the crab was truly amazing. I just wish I didn't have to wait an hour to get it. I had crab tonight. It was delicious. Oh, welcome to the Shangri-La, sir. Our hostess will seat you as soon as she gets back. You're welcome to wait in the lounge. This will only take a second. A loud exhilaration escapes through her nose, and her eyes dart towards the kitchen. She musters an empty smile and nods in false hospitality. Absolutely, sir. What is it you need? Never mind. Let you get back to work. I don't want to get stabbed. Please don't stab me. I'm gonna go wander. There is wait for target there. There's an order computer. There's... okay. Am I gonna get stopped if I try and walk around back here? What is this way? There's a security guard. Let's talk to him. He looks tiny. Sorry, sir. This area is off limits. And why is that? This is the Wuxing employee patio, reserved for Wuxing customers and their guests. General public's not admitted. Why don't you head back to your table? There's ample seating in the main dining room. Yep, I can take a hint. That's fine. Let's talk to Henry. A well-dressed man sits alone at the bar, elbows propped up top the counter. His face is hard, eyes blank. He swirls the contents of his half-empty glass as if in a stupor. Between the swollen eyes and whiskey double, it isn't hard to guess his mood. As you approach, he rubs his temples and graces you with a lazy sideways glance, mumbles under his breath. Yeah, not like I can dig myself any deeper. Excuse me? Didn't catch that? He grunts. Nothing. Just, have you ever had one of those days where it all goes to hell? Story of my life. He looks at you again through dull, bloodshot eyes, but his gaze drifts somewhere else before returning to his drink. Lost 2 contracts. Missed a third. Late for a meeting and publicly shamed by my coworker. All during the 9 to 5. New record as far as I can tell. He takes a long pull from his glass, exhales. At least I got that going for me. Coworker sounds like an asshole. How'd you get shamed? Negligence. My coworker took 2 of my contracts while they were in renewal. I'd overlooked them for a day or 2. Damn, it was just a couple of days. He sighs and begins to sway. Whether it's involuntary or to calm himself is uncertain, but his chair creaks loudly in protest. Anyway, he took my clients and made a fool of me. Been rubbing it ever since, or been rubbing it in. How'd you lose your contracts? Wish I knew. One of them was almost a done deal. But for some reason, the clients suddenly changed their tune, and the contract slipped away before I could officially close it. The other 2 contracts were for ongoing clients, people I'd worked with for years. But I somehow forgot about their annual renewal date, and a more diligent coworker picked them up. I got no credit for the long-term partnership with those clients. If anything, I now look worse than for losing them, even though I brought them into Sing in the first place. He leans back and lets out a weary groan. His breath reeks of alcohol. Sounds like too many coincidences to me. Think someone's working against you? Yep. You kidding me? Everyone's at each other's throat in the business. He downs the rest of his drink, signals to the bartender. In a single movement, the bartender leans over and refills the glass. Fair, but is there someone who would have benefited most from what happened to you? He considers this. The newcomer, David. Henry nods his head towards a group at the end of the bar, at the elf at its center. This way? I think it's this way, unless there's one further down. Him. He came out of nowhere and has become a rock star with upper management. He's been making connections and deals like a woosing veteran, like me. I think you found your culprit. You're telling me. You want to know what I think? He leans forward, glassy eyes looking through you to who knows where. The scent of booze wafts over him. I think he's got family connections, people in high places, and he's been using them to his advantage. I wonder if we could just make this guy angry enough that he's going to start a fight and draw the guard away so that we can sneak up. He backs off and shrugs, rocks precariously on his chair. I don't know. It's just a thought. Might be onto something. No, just wishful thinking. Well, I'm going to go find out. All right, little elf boy. Talk to me. David is all smiles. He's just finished a joke to the uproarious laughter of his party. Hello, friend. Trying to get in on this joviality? You're welcome to join us for the next round. His words bleed into each other. This isn't his first drink. What are we celebrating? My recent successes. Through some hard work and a little businessly persuasion, he winks at you knowingly, I sealed 2 contracts, and the third is on its way. I can slip him a 20, or pay 20 yuan and buy the next round. Well, I'll be exact amount of contract. Do I want to butter up and win the crowd first, or do I want to cut to the chase? Let's butter them up first. Here's a real friend. Come, let's have a drink. He slams back a shot and hoots with satisfaction. Much appreciated. Thank you, my good man. So, from one friend to another, how did you bag all those contracts in one day? Wasn't too hard, truth to be told. Someone did most of the work for me. You see that poor sot down there? He gestures to Henry. We just upgraded our security at work. A few nights ago, that fool left behind a note containing his new password. I wrote it down and had some fun. Sent nasty messages to his clients. Removed a couple appointments from his schedule. David tosses his hand in the air, spilling his drink, and boom! I'm Employee of the Month. All I had to do was some damage control. But that man's clients, they're now mine. Nicely done. Clever, my friend. His cocky smile stretches across his all-too-proud face. I thought so, too. Thanks again for the drink, friend. You have yourself a good night. Hey, Orcish Slave. These guys are right on the edge. Both blasted, one pissed off, the other, well, an asshole. Exactly what I was thinking. One word, and these guys will be throwing down. That happens to be loud enough. Security is bound to respond. Just a thought. It was my thought exactly. Henry, I got some information for you. You came back. Listen, that David prick you mentioned, turns out he broke into your work terminal and sent your client some nasty messages in your name. Then he swooped in and stole them. That explains why no one would return my messages. With a grunt, he smashes his fist into the counter. He turns toward David and mutters through his clenched teeth. He wants to play dirty? I can handle it. I can handle him. He jumps up and marches toward David. Alright, let's get ready to run upstairs. Henry and David stand inches from one another, both men wearing the fiercest expressions they can muster. Their hatred is almost palpable. How their confrontation will play out is unclear, but one thing is certain. You have a great seat. Henry stabs a finger into David's chest and speaks in a low hiss. You stole my business, and I know it. You might have picked this fight, but I'm gonna win it. Fair and fucking square. Show you how those with integrity operate, you cheat. David's mouth eases into a content smirk. You want to lose face twice in a day? I'm happy to oblige, but not in here. I'll be damned if the Shangri-La bans me from thrashing a worthless crap stain like you on their property. Let's finish this outside. Now. Fine, but don't think this will give you any sort of advantage. It only means I won't have to hold back. Let's go. Shit. Where's out? Did they go upstairs outside? Does that mean I can go up? Where the fuck am I gonna go? Okay, so does that actually mean I completed that? Yes, I did. Okay. Does it let me back into the kitchen without getting me in shit? A heady aroma of spices and sweat bombards your senses. As the cooks move through the kitchen, scents churn in their wake. Some sharp, some sweet, some altogether unfamiliar, but all delicious. The chef barks an order to his assistant searing fish, then whirls around, muttering fervently to himself. He stops short once he notices you standing in his kitchen. I told them I needed an extra server, not a hobo. Shoo. He gestures towards the door and returns to tasting an array of sauces. Let's see if I can do a thing. No guests in the kitchen. Out. Sorry and shoe, but I need to speak to the head chef. I am the head chef. I've little time to cook my food, and even less for conversation. Let's lie about being influential. The chef freezes at the implication in your words. I scan your face, searching for any tell that might suggest you're bluffing. Just make it quick. You've got 60 seconds before I have to pull these prawns out of the broiler. I'm looking for someone in the restaurant, Mr. Lowe. He's likely in one of the private dining rooms. Do you have any idea how many orders I prepare? I don't know where they go. I cook them, place them on this counter, and then they disappear. The only time I care about who ordered them is if the dish is sent back with a complaint. I see. Maybe I should ask somewhere else, but if I don't get my answers, I'll come back. Please don't. Time's up. Out with you. Alright. Can I fuck with a computer then? And send in an order for somebody? Open program tracking food orders and their respective tables flicker steadily on the computer screen. Server notes. Inside this file is a series of notes on guests and the restaurant's operations. You scroll through the notes, or today's notes. Several servers have written about the concerns regarding tonight's lack of security, and a couple are frustrated with the curious guests wandering up to the second floor's private dining room. Rest is useless information. Manager's notice? Nothing but your typical wage slave directives in here. There are a few mentions of curtailing recreational activities in storage rooms and on outer decks. One can only infer the meaning of said activities. Butt stuff. Farther down, a note in red expressly warns that the special guest on floor 2 should be served by appropriate waitstaff only. And if the guest's orders are botched again, there will be significant and widespread consequences for all servers involved. So, floor 2. Check orders. Oh yeah, we already did that. Alright. One note on a second floor order stands out. Floor 2, private room 3, VIP party of 5, Shangri-La prawns. Note, no prawns, avoid cross-contamination with shellfish. Diner is allergic. Okay, so we can give somebody prawns by accident. Oh, the Talon is allergic. Enter a new order. Menu pops up with the options to view or place. I need a server code. Will it let me talk to him again and not get me in total shit? It's important. I heard that one of your private diners throws a tantrum if his special orders are botched. That is a polite way to put it. Gave 2 of my cooks broken ribs and a matching set of black eyes last time he stormed into my kitchen. Yes, I know that orc. Got a shellfish allergy. He's keen, or overly keen on hounding us about. As though this wasn't the top seafood restaurant in the 6th world. Let's see if something happens to him. Let's bribe him, though. What? You can't possibly be saying what I think you are. You want me to poison a diner? You're deranged. I'm calling security. Let's bribe him with a bit of money. You know, he never appreciated our cuisine, our art. I think a special thanks is in order. See yourself out, won't you? Okay. So I think we have successfully poisoned the dude, which means I don't have to worry about him, or shouldn't. Let me double check to see if anything else comes up on here. Nope. I don't think it lets me anywhere else. So I should, if I double check this, I located his dining room, or should technically have located it. Doesn't let me up at all? I don't think it's gonna let me. Area's off limits, move along. Okay. It will not. Let's double check with the waitress and then look at what else we might be able to do. Because we didn't really advance anything with her. Oh, welcome to the Shangri-La, sir. Hostess, this will only take a second. I'm looking for someone. I'm not familiar with that name. I'll bet a hard-working waitress like yourself is good with faces. You'd certainly remember this man. He travels with a big orc who's got a nasty scar on his cheek. She fiddles with her scratch pad and eyes the plenteous orders scrawled across its top page. After a moment of consideration, she speaks. I might know the orc. If he's who I'm thinking of, he only comes around a couple times a year. I've never served him, but I've heard he gets real pushy with other waiters. Pushy, huh? Why is that? He's allergic to shellfish, I think. We may get so many orders, sometimes mistakes are made. Okay. Certainly you must know where they're eating. Sir, this is the Shangri-La. We have over 24 private dining rooms in addition to our main dining floor. As I've already said, I serve out here. Your friend could be in any of our other dining rooms. Now, excuse me, I need to place these orders. Enjoy your meal. Okay. So I think we're good with that. Let's wait it out. Because I don't think anything else is going to happen. The gnarled bar stool offers little in the way of comfort. A quick look around reveals the disparity between the restaurant proper and the bar, the latter of which appears neglected in comparison to the pristine dining room. Old, dried drink rings dapple the counter's uneven surface. An angry scratch runs down its length. But you've got time to kill before Rooster arrives. And this is as good as any spot. Let's have a seat and wait. Minutes tick away. Rooster should be here any time now. I don't want to drink because I don't want to dull my senses while doing this. Chef, we have a problem. A big problem. Cut the drama, Cork Mage. We're working here. We've got a fight out front and a sick diner, and you're still in here glazing dumplings? Our second floor guest is pissed. His head of security is spewing up prawns and looking for someone to blame. Better brace yourself for a mouthful of fists. Okay. Oh, that is one big ugly dude. A howl and several thumps catching the cooking staff's attention. Apprehensive glances are tossed around the kitchen, their fear abruptly confirmed as a large orc bursts into the room. The jagged scar on the orc's cheek matches your client's description of the Talon. Or it would if the Talon's face weren't a lumpy, swollen, seeping mess. Johnny the Talon. The Talon's face flushes in anger, or perhaps as a side effect of his allergy, and he raises a knobby finger to the room. What is wrong with this place? His swollen lips spit more saliva than sounds. Excuse me, sir. You're holding the kitchen up. If you have any questions or concerns, speak to our host out front. I've got a concern, all right. The concern regarding this shithouse you call a restaurant. This is the third time you slopheads have fucked up my order. If I'm regularly forced to choke down your garbage, I expect at the least, some substitutions to be followed. No shellfish. Get it right, or the next time someone's going to end up a whole lot worse than maimed. Duncan turns to you, his eyebrows raised. And you call me short-fused? Maybe now you'll think twice before ragging on me when things heat up. Oh no, I'll never stop ragging on you, Duncan. Hey, if the Talon's down here, that means he's left the upstairs room unguarded. You're right. Let's go while he's distracted. Wait, no, I can't go that way. Let's go this way. Bye, miss. That is a large cleaver.